Welcome back to Halloween Lives, the podcast of Michael Myers. I am your host for today, Austin Duncan, and I'm so excited to have you back on the show where we talk about our two favorite things, Halloween and motherfrickin' Halloween. Today, it's just me, and we're going to go on a solo adventure today. I'm very excited to get into this one because I think it's going to be a lot of fun. More specifically for the visual watchers rather than the audio listeners, though I do love my audio listeners. This one is going to be pretty visual, but if you want to use your mind, I believe it was Alfred Hitchcock who once said the scariest thing imaginable can only be imagined. I think that's exactly how he said it. Anyways, we're going to be doing something that every Halloween fan, every Halloween YouTube channel has asked and done ourselves, I believe, twice already in our 2 years of being a show here on YouTube. And it's, what is the best Michael Myers mask? We've gone through and we've ranked and we've talked and debated what might be the ultimate quintessential Michael Myers mask. And today we're going to answer that question by saying all of them. And we are going to combine bits, pieces of each Michael Myers mask throughout the timelines to create the ultimate Michael Myers mask. This is a video I've wanted to do for a while, and we're gonna jump right in. So I've got handy dandy Photoshop open right here, and what I've already pulled up here is each one of the Trick or Treat Studios masks. I've tried to align them by eyes and mouth, and you'll notice, by the way, the Rob Zombie movies. As much as I praise them for the Rob Zombie and the David Gordon Green trilogy for having that continuity, well, it would make it very difficult for this video trying to piece together different pieces of these masks. And so I grabbed the middle of each, either trilogy or duology or whatever you would like, because it's kind of the midpoint. It's what we really know about these masks. So today we're going to be using the classic H1 as our base. This is what's going to be the canvas in which we paint a beautiful, beautiful picture. And yes, I want to be upfront right away. I know this is going to look like a horror monstrosity by the time we're done with it. But if it doesn't make you think, that's Michael Myers, I'd be shocked. Anyways, so what we're going to be doing, if I didn't make it clear, is taking little parts of each mask that, we think are recognizable for being from that mask. And by the end of this, we're going to have the ultimate Michael Myers mask. It shouldn't go off the rails at all, but we shall see. So, like I said, we're going to start off with the Trick or Treat Studios Halloween 1 mask. And the reason why I went with the Trick or Treat Studios images for what we're doing here today is because roughly these are all under the same kind of quality lighting, though there are a few that are very much at different angles. That's going to work to our disadvantage today, not going to lie. But we're going to get right into it, man. So by the end of this, obviously, we're going to have kind of an amalgamation, one might say, of all these masks. And, when you take a look at the H2 mask, for me specifically, this one has a lot of history. And it's the exact same mask as the H1 worn, instead by Dick Warlock instead of Nick Castle. And Dick's got a wide head, apparently, and it stretched this bad boy out. And, one thing, when I look at this mask, I go, what's really different from the H1? And it lands front dead and center with this stretched out nose. So I think, it only feels right to take the nose of this mask, and we're just going to lasso around here and grab this piece right here, and we're going to drop it right on top of the H1. like so. And already, we're seeing improvement to John Carpenter's classic mask. It can only go up from here. By the way, you might hear a fan running in the back. That's because it's 95 fucking degrees in my house right now. So I apologize. This won't be the standard ASMR. Anyways, we are going into the Halloween 4 mask here. And everybody throughout the Halloween fandom knows that this mask meant a lot. Obviously, this was Halloween 4 after Halloween 3, where we didn't really see Michael Myers in that movie. We had to come back with a banger for Halloween 4. And universally across the board, everyone loves every aspect of this mask. And one thing that I always hear people say is they love the eyebrows on this mask, because there's nothing scarier than a Michael Myers who looks like he is mid Taco Bell diarrhea, and shocked by what his rectal muscles were able to perform. So I'm going to grab these beautiful eyebrows right here. We're going to grab them both, because I really don't think you can have the perfect Michael Myers mask without these eyebrows. So we're just going to take those off, and you're going to see, not every mask lines up perfectly. So we're going to have to do some repositioning. If you're worried that this is just going to look like a collage that you find in the back of a 90s yearbook, don't worry. We're going to smooth out all the edges. We're going to make everything blend together. But we're just going to drop those guys in there just like that for right now. And already we can take a look back and see we've sort of got a Mr. Potato Head sort of vibe going on with this. And I think that's really going to ultimately do well for our ultimate Michael Myers film. Perhaps this would be the mask that we would use for the films that we drafted characters for. If you watch our video this last time with Justin the Shape and the Shape of Winter and Josh the Shape NC, that might be this might be the kind of face of that franchise, if you will. So kind of like H4, one of the masks that the franchise fans have always had almost nothing but good things to say about is the Halloween 5 mask. And, you look at this and you go, Austin, there's so much to love here. There's so many redeeming qualities about this mask, and it's sort of, Nicolas Cage-esque design. And to that, I'd say I agree. It's hard to really pick out one area that I'd really, really want to make sure we have here. I think the safe bet here would be like the ears. But there is one area that's really jumping out to me right now. And, we've done the nose, we've done the eyebrows. One thing that I appreciate just looking at this right now, and I've never really noticed, is just the slight hint of herpes here on the mouth area that I think, I don't think back in 1978 they really had the gall to pull off. They didn't have they didn't know that the character that they were working with was going to turn out to be such a legendary character throughout horror film history. I know in a lot of interviews, John Carpenter has said, we wanted to put herpes on the face of Michael Myers. We didn't know where to put it. And we didn't know if, the 1970s audiences could handle that. But luckily, by the time H5 rolled around, audiences were more than comfortable with herpes. And I think it's 2024. And obviously Blaine's not here today, but he would vouch for the fact that if anybody's comfortable with herpes, it's him. So I think, if we drop that mouth in there, you're already getting, the essence of that Michael character. If you're looking at this and you don't already think like, oh my God, that's what I think of in my head when I think of Michael Myers, I don't know how to help you. So yeah, I think we're going to take the mouth for that one for now. Now we may have to go back and grab some other pieces from the H5 mask just because there is so much good to pull from there that I want to make sure we get everything we need for this. And we're kind of cruising through. So, pulling a little punt here, I might go and grab some of the other David Gordon Green or Rob Zombie mask bits and pieces in case we need even more detail on this thing. So, but for right now, we're going to jump into Halloween 6. And, you look at this mask and this is genuinely, we've talked about it plenty of times on the show. Very good mask. Probably rivals the original H1 mask to a level that like most of the new sculpts that you see throughout the series do not have. Man, what do we take from this one on a serious note? I do have an idea. And I think it's going to take some finagling. But just based on where we're at with this whole mask thus far, is I think this nice wrinkly neck might be a good piece. Or you know what? No. I will save that piece for later. I think we're going to go with the neck for right now. Again, we may revisit this mask to some degree here as time goes on, but the neck is definitely different. You don't see a wrinkly neck Michael Myers too much throughout the series, but I think we're going to grab that. Oh boy, it is looking good. We're going to have to do some finagling. We really are to make this work, but I think, again, end product, you gotta think with the end product in mind and how we can make this work. So I'm just going to take this neck piece and bring it over here, bring this up here. Might want to taper this off a little bit. There's something funky going on with the jawline right there. So I'm just going to smooth that out, take that right out there, and boom. You're already looking at, again, the quintessential ideal Michael Myers. We're starting to get there. And now I know there's a lot of different shading, a lot of different colors going on, but again, we're going to make it all smooth. This is just the beginning. We're just taking the clay and we're forming it to be our ultimate Michael Myers. Moving on to the H2O. Oh boy, one might say go for the hair, but Trick or Treat Studios actually gave this mask decent hair, and the overall mask on the Trick or Treat Studios Halloween H2O, I think I like better than what we actually got in the movie. But when I was talking earlier about something that I wanted to save for later, it was these eyes, the devil's eyes. They're just wide gaping holes. Again, another topic Blaine could speak on better than I can, but we're going to grab these guys right here. These baby, beautiful black eyes. And we are not selecting more than one thing. We're going to drop those right in on our Michael mask because it is one of the, the things that people talk about when it comes to the Halloween H2O mask is, what's going on with the eyes? Again, just another bold choice by the creative team. And oh boy, are we looking good. We're a little over halfway done with just creating the pieces that are going to shape together on this mask. And by God, if that isn't just a beautiful piece of art already, Genuinely, I know there are some fans of this show that sculpt masks, that do this. If you create this in any capacity, I will display it behind me as long as this show goes on, which, based on how this episode is going, it could be only a couple of weeks. So get on it quick, and I am going to be happy to display this behind me. So I'm just bringing them a little bit closer to the kind of the eye line on the original H1 mask here. Man, it is looking good. So we find ourselves looking at this gray alien looking mask. I've talked about it at length before, that you could have a what are they called? A professional golfer, PGA. You could have a PGA Masters winner take a drive from the top of Michael's mouth here. And, they could give it their entire might, not worrying about accuracy, just working on speed and distance. And they still wouldn't be able to reach the tip of Michael's nose on this mask. This thing has a mile-long upper lip. This Cupid's bow area right here is just enormous. And part of me wants to take that as well for this mask. But how do you introduce just the Cupid's bow? Well, we're gonna try. We're gonna grab a little bit of the cheek here. Obviously, don't want to grab the lips. We already have the famous H5 STD lips, and we're gonna grab this Cupid's bow area. And this is where things are gonna start to get a little Frankenstein on the show. So we're gonna have to drop that under the nose. Right? We're going to have to drop that under the nose, which nose should be about right here. And then we're going to have to grab that mouth, wherever that mouth is. We're going to drop that down to just about where the mouth ends on the Halloween Resurrection. Now that's going to bring, that chin. It's going to really, Michael's going to have a short chin here. So that might be an area we have to work around, but you're working together. You're watching an artist at play right now, and believe me, by the time this is done, not going to be an issue whatsoever. And who's to say we don't go back and grab a chin from another Michael Myers? But if you're thinking anything right now, you're thinking I can trust the process here. So trust the process. We'll be good. Now again. We are going to probably go back and grab the Halloween Rob Zombie H1 mask. So let me just grab that real quick. And, we've got time. We've got room to play a little bit. So why don't we drop in the clean mask first? Because we are missing a lot of details still. We don't want to go crazy and skip something that we might want later. Whew. Now this is a genuinely good mask. But what I immediately see with the Tyler Mane mask is this little I believe it's called a furl in the brow. These two little lines here that just make a world of difference and show you, this Michael, he's not playing around. He's gonna kill children with big sticks. That was what you get out of that movie. So I'm going to drop in this little furrowed brow right here. So this Mikey is not messing around. Now look at that. Look at that. Took it to a whole nother level. See, we're going to skip this. We can't skip it now. I'm going to go ahead and grab an image from the, what we see later in the movie. With the kind of what people think of as the Rob Zombie Halloween 1 mask. And there's a lot to grab here. Genuinely, if we're trying to make a mask that has elements of each mask in it, I think you got to grab this kind of lightning bolt crack mark here and drop it in, man, because it is kind of a characteristic of this mask that you can't forget about, and it screams Rob Zombie to me. And look at that, we got a little crack in there. Love it. So now we're gonna go to not that one. There it is. This was what we were originally going to do as the total of everything for Rob Zombie's films. And I think right now, man, just looking at it, and you got to think too, because we're going to be working with kills where, this side of the face is all burned. But the Halloween 2 by Rob Zombie, this side of the face is all messed up. So, maybe we just have a full face messed up Michael Myers. I can't see. Yeah. And again, I wouldn't want to ruin the beauty of what we already have cooking on this mask. But this little area right here, to me, obviously screams Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Now, this does leave us with a problem. And I know you might be thinking it, Austin, that gets way bigger as time goes on throughout the movie. You're about to grab that mask. What are you gonna do? And the good news is I have no clue yet. So let me just take a look, see here, and grab that final mask. And I have an idea. Here because we've got a lot of cool things happening, right? For me, I was gonna say the hair. That's gonna be very hard to do here. Where do we want to grab? If this was a live episode, would definitely be reaching out to you guys for help. But it seems I'm stuck. So when you look at this mask, one thing jumps out at you. One thing is clear that you would want to save and grab for any sort of quintessential mask you're going for, and that's the ear. So now we can officially say we used a part of every single mask thus far. Let me just grab that ear right there. Yeah, we're just going to grab that. We're going to do a little duplicate layer here because you don't want to have two mismatched ears. Otherwise, this whole thing would just look silly. So we're going to drop that right there. And yeah, man, that's Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 already. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really nice about this so far. Now it's time to jump into a trilogy of films that, it isn't divisive at all. People only, again, have good things to say about this film or this trilogy, especially how it wrapped up. But we're going to grab the Halloween 2018 mask from Trick or Treat Studios here, drop that in, and oh my God, there is so much detail to this thing. Where do you even begin, man? Where do you go? Hey, that's clearly the 2018 mask. Oh, let's take a look at what we've got so far. Yeah, you know what, man? I think we grab this little eye bit here, this little droopy eye. I know we already have the H2O eyes, but this little droopy eye bit, and hell, let's grab this little slice of eye as well, because I do think it's very clearly Halloween 2018. That was the first thing we kind of noticed on the poster. So let's bring that in here. And try to piece this in a way that, again, matches the level of quality that we're dealing with thus far. I think if you put it right boot there, yeah, that's looking good. That is looking nice. I think there might be more to this. I'm going to be honest. I think we can grab more from 2018. Because just looking at it, I'm like, man, that's such a small detail. I think we got to grab, it's obviously known for all these wrinkles. But where do you grab from? I mean, do you grab this little bit here? That little wrinkly bit? Maybe it adds what we were looking for here. And ooh, I actually think we're going to have something nice just like that. Yeah. Yeah, I think we got enough detail there. Enough detail to pull for. Great. Everything's looking wonderful. This is exactly what I had in mind before starting. So let's get into this bit here. So obviously we're going to want the burns, right? Maybe even the little cheeky bit down here. I think we start with that. We got to grab that little cheeky bit right there. Plop that right in. And it's going to go close to... I don't think I grabbed the right bit there. And it's going to be close to what we had just placed. But I think if we just drop this down, put her right there, we'll be looking real good. All right. And then, obviously we got to do something with the burns here. So taking a look at the mask, this side of the face, just way too clean now that you look at the other side, where there's so much going on from the Rob Zombie movies, from the David Gordon Green movies thus far. But you got to keep in mind, Halloween Ends, this is going to have some fuzz. This is going to have some mold on it. Now, I didn't think about this, but the STD, the herpes mouth did kind of make a return here in Halloween Kills. So respect them for, staying true. But where do you go here? I think we got to grab just a good amount of this burn. Perhaps we grab like this piece up here all the way down the cheek. And try to grab a piece like this. We'll drop that in there and see if we can't make that work, right? There we go. Yeah, there's something to be said about this. And it's not good. Okay, great. This is starting to look... half as good as a Temu mask, so I think we're on the right track. Ultimately, now though, we're talking about Halloween Ends, and a lot of people have things to say about Halloween Ends. We just covered it in a film, and people had stuff to say, even in our comments. Believe it or not, things that were a little negative about the movie. Which is shocking because, the initial reaction to this film was nothing but goodness. Let's drop this in here. So one thing that we really haven't touched yet is the hair. And we've got this nice kind of half shampooed looking hair going on right now. I think we got to grab that to get the mold in there, right? So we'll just grab that beautiful hairline right there and plop it on to Michael here. Ooh, now that is looking nice. We're going to have to do some shaping, make it all work, but by God, if that doesn't look good, just bring that in right there. He's almost got a little bit of a fade going on here that I appreciate. So we'll just bring that out like that. Let that render. And then we'll cut out some space for the ears that we already had over here so we can let those bad boys shine. Ooh, and what I really like is we're allowing those classic Michael Myers kind of devil horn strands of hair to stick out the sides. And now we've got a piece of every single movie that, now I'm going to get into the nitty gritty. I'm going to do some editing on to make sure that, we've got exactly what we're looking for here. We're about to head into a little time lapse. So get really excited because I sure am. We're going to get spooky with it. And the next time you see me, this right here will be looking like a masterpiece. So for me, it's about to be 9 hours, but for you, it should just be a few seconds. I'll see you in a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, we've had a lot of fun here today. This is going to be a shorter episode because, by God, it didn't take long to create greatness. And obviously, I'm missing my co-host for a lot of great help in this today. But what I'm about to show you is Michael Myers in essence, in truth. This combines elements from every movie. It's the ultimate continuity piece. And I'm really excited to share with you the ultimate Michael Myers mask. Now, I got to be honest. I thought this would look even shittier when all said and done. But there's something to this, right? There's something that's somewhat redeemable. But obviously there is a lot that is totally not redeemable here with this mask. I thought about adding some of the blood from the Rob Zombie H2 coming off of this ripped off bit, but I did kind of like the little burned sear to it that kind of matches the burns from the Halloween Kills. But ultimately, you've got something where, if you showed somebody this, they'd be like, oh, that's Jason Voorhees. Which is exactly the reaction that we're looking for here. But yeah, that is the ultimate Michael Myers mask in all its glory. Got little bits and pieces from our favorite films. I spent 9 hours putting this together. So I really hope you like it. A lot going on in the back side of this episode here. But ultimately, we ended up with a masterpiece. So what else can you say, man? That's the ultimate Michael Myers mask. I'm sure I'll put it in the thumbnail as well. But wanted to take over some housekeeping things before I let you go for the next episode. First of all, just wanted to say thank you guys so much for all the love you showed on the last video of Michael versus Jason. I'm still feeling pretty shook that it ended up being a Jason pick by the end of it. Obviously, we had our categories and Blaine and I talked through them. Some people had some things to debate in the comments of that video, whether like durability and strength were kind of intermixed on this one. And I think there's an argument there. But at the end of the day, you're watching us is the end of the day deal. And, we did our best, and I'm super pumped with how that video turned out. Following that video dropping, we actually got a message, from fan of the show, Mr. Mikey Long, who reached out to us via Instagram, wrote us a really nice note. He said, and I'm trying to say this without sounding like I'm tooting my own horn here, but he did say, that our show, the Duncan Brothers, have inspired him to start making content of his own here on YouTube. For me personally, I think back to like the channels that inspired me to want to start doing the YouTube thing. And it's really cool that we were able to kind of pay that inspiration forward. So wanted to shout out Mikey Long and Deep Red Pictures. I'm going to throw the link to Deep Red Pictures here on YouTube down in the description below. Please go subscribe. Tell them Blaine and Austin sent you, and give Mikey all the love that he deserves. Also wanted to shout out another individual that is absolutely doing great things for this community, and that is Justin, aka The Shape of Winter. If you guys remember last year about this time, Blaine and I entered, and more specifically Blaine. It was Blaine's costume. Blaine was the body of it all. I just took the little picture. But we entered into the Best Myers of 2023 competition. Ended up getting second place, man. So I don't know if Blaine's got a vendetta. He's going to try to go for that one spot again. I might take a picture myself and try to throw my hat in the ring and just see where I land amongst the ranks. But ultimately, what I'm telling everybody here to do is, even if you don't think you're a professional cosplayer, even if you're, somewhere in the middle, I definitely want you to go check out this competition. Go to the Shape of Winter on Instagram and check out the rules for entry there. And I'm looking forward to seeing all you guys in all your costumes joining together in one of the best events for the community that exists at this point. So, go check out the Best Myers of 2024 competition over there on Justin's account at The Shape of Winter on Instagram. And while you're doing that, hey, man, why don't you throw us a like down here, a subscribe? It means the world to us. It genuinely helps us out so much. And if you had a fun time, if you had a hee-hee or a ha-ha laughing at how ridiculous this mask turned out to be, I'm just going to put it back up on stage while we talk here. If you had a good time watching this video, or if you've had a good time watching our videos in the past, please make sure to subscribe, hit like, throw us a comment. Let us know what you thought of the episode. Let us know what you thought of the mask. And one thing's for sure, you'll make this guy real happy. So what I want to do now is wish you guys a great rest of your day. My name is Austin Duncan. This is Halloween Lives, the podcast of Michael Myers, and we will see you next week with the Duncan Brothers together. Peace out until then, my friends.